Tatum, and today we are going to read Daniel's in the Lion's Den from the Jesus Book Story Bible. I brought a friend with me today. He's a lion, and he's going to read with us. You guys ready? Okay, let's start. Daniel and the Scary Sleepover from the Jesus Book Story Bible. Things were not looking good for God's people. They had been captured and taken far from home, and now they were slaves of the king of Babylon. But God had not left his people. He was with them, and he was looking after them. Daniel loved God and obeyed him. Now God made Daniel able to understand lots of difficult things. So it wasn't long before the king of Babylon noticed him. King Darius liked how clever Daniel was. So he made Daniel his most important helper of all, and put him in charge of lots of other helpers. But the other helpers did not like this. They wanted the king to like them the best. They wanted to get rid of Daniel. So they spied on Daniel. They tried to find things wrong with Daniel, things they could tell the king, things they could, but they were not any, none that they could find, except there was one, just the one thing. Every day, 3 times a day, without fail, no matter what, Daniel went to his room, closed the door, and prayed. They smiled to themselves. Let's get the king to make a law. No one is allowed to pray except to the king. Daniel won't obey this law. He will be punished. They were pleased with themselves for being so clever and hurried off to tell the king. The king liked their idea. He didn't know that they were tricking him, so he made it into a law. Everyone must pray to me, only to me. If you don't, the lions will have you for dinner. Daniel heard this. He knew it was wrong to pray to anyone except God, but he had to do what God said, whenever it cost him, even if it meant that he would die. So Daniel went to his room, closed the door, and prayed. He's really brave. That's just what the bad men knew Daniel would do. They skipped straight off to tell the king, "Oh, your most glittering highness, your law says, doesn't it, that only must pray to you alone, sire?" "Yes," said the king. "Oh, magistrate brightness." They corrected us if we're wrong, but it would seem that Daniel was praying to God, not to you. The king was sad. He had been tricked. He didn't want to hurt Daniel, but he couldn't change his law, and so he let the soldiers throw Daniel into the lion's den. "May your God who loves you so much rescue you," said the king. This one's pretty scary. It kind of looks like this. The king went back to his palace, but he didn't sleep that night. Awake, he tossed and turned until finally, at the first glimmer of dawn, he leapt out of bed and ran straight into the den. "Daniel," he cried, "has your God rescued you?" "Yes," Daniel shouted. "God sent me an angel to close the lions' mouths." And they resting his head on Daniel's lap. Resting his head on Daniel's lap was the biggest lion, purring like a little kitten. The king brought Daniel out of the den. "Look," he said, "Daniel doesn't even have a scratch." The king made a new law. Daniel's God is the true God, the God of whom rescues him. Pray to his God would keep on rescuing his people. The time was coming when God would send another brave hero like Daniel, who would love God and do what God said, whatever it cost him, even if it meant he would die. And together they would pull off the greatest rescue in the world that has ever seen. That was a really good story. What do you guys think of it? He was really brave, and some of the things that are hard don't seem that hard. Okay, thank you guys for watching my video. Bye.